Who is this guy? I've been a VP of sales since I was 30 years old. And I've been in companies that have been startups as well as running a $150 million P&L. And once the budgets are submitted, they come back and they cut the training cost out of it. And so I'm hired into these companies and they say, well, you're the VP of sales. You know, you make it happen, or you know what? We'll trade you. Just like a pro football coach, I got to come in with my new plays and my playbook, and I'm accountable for the revenue, or else I lose my job. So over the years, I took it upon myself, knowing that I wasn't going to get any money, that I had to study books, I had to read psychology, I had to read all the sales books out there. I paid for classes myself, but I had to refine this because sales guys are a little ADD. I had to be net. I had to have a sequential process in place so they could memorize each step of a sales call, each step of a sales cycle, and repeat this like an athlete repeats their plays, their training, they're shooting a ball. And the reason it's a playbook is it's net for the Generation Y who Twitter to get their information and won't read the books I read, for the sales pros who need to go to spring training and remember the things that they're doing right and wrong throughout the year. And last but not least, somebody that is getting into complex sales. So complex sales is a very difficult task. What do I mean complex sales? Complex sales for me was technology. Technology changes every week. I had to be up to speed in terms of mainframe technology, mid-frame technology, and now the cloud technology. And so without competency, a salesperson has no credibility in front of their customer who's a CIO or a VP of information technology. Software is also an intangible. I sell you this disk, it's $1 million. Really? Well, now it's a download is $1 million. And the last reason it's complex is because when you sell to governments and organizations, there are different personalities, different people, different power bases. Who's got the money? I begin in my coaching setting goals. You know, there's lots of studies out there, but the reality is go to Google and Google setting goals. You'll get page after page of quotes from successful people, going back to Aristotle, on the importance of setting goals, writing down those goals, and then acting on those particular goals. So I built for my teams a very visual process of setting their goals. It's called GOSPA, Goals, Objectives, Strategies, Activities, and Plans, or Plans and Activities. Right? The activities become the most important thing, which means what are you doing today to get leads into your pipeline for us to make our numbers. And it's my job to teach the managers or the individuals to review their goals on a monthly basis and on an annualized basis, and to change those if we're not hitting our goals. The next thing I teach my people are their buyers are different people. There are 4 types of buyers. You've got the dominant personality. This is the person in the corner office. I want A, B, C, you know, what are the answers? You know, how much is this going to cost us? What problem are we solving? When can we get this implemented, and who else is using it? The influencers, you know, these are the social sales guys. They're the ones at the party cracking the jokes. You know, they're liked by everybody. You know, people like buying from people they like. You've got the compliant. This is Bill Gates. These are the smartest guys in the room. And last, you have the steady Eddie, as you see in my train. Leave me alone. I've been with the company 25 years. I don't need a promotion. I'm gonna retire. You know, I don't need all the money in the world, but you know, I'll get my job done. And so a lot of salespeople don't know how to sell to these different personalities, and I discuss in this book how you can profile these people and how you sell to these people. Next, if you look at, you know, an organization, you know, organizations are really complicated. You know, they have so many people, so many departments, So many processes going on. You know, how do we learn who's got the money? Where's Waldo? And so I go through an extensive process in teaching my team to understand the buying behavior of an organization and getting there very quickly. Because the lower you are in the organization, the longer your sales cycle. The higher you're in an organization, the faster your sales cycle. And so it's my job to teach them how to navigate this crazy organization. Companies spend a lot of money on target marketing, right? But there's a key piece that a field leader has to implement, because when I was in the DC area, I couldn't call all the companies, right? I had to have a focus on who are we calling on. And the focus became, well, we have the federal government, but they're big. So who has the money, and how are we going to focus in on those particular agencies? We had banks, and we had telco companies. And so I took my team, we got a top 100 for each one of those, and we put those into our target market, and we went after them. So we learned how to not only segment our market, go after our market, but then prospect into that market. I taught my teams how to build a script. I taught them that there are 10 no's. There's only 10 no's an executive's going to give you when you call them on the phone. And so we had to learn how to handle the objections, because most people quit when they hear one objection, right? I got my appointments as a sales guy by handling 2 or 3 or 4. And I shrank my sales cycles because I could call a CIO, which I was doing at 25 years old. Now you have to manage those opportunities. Okay, I have a funnel. I've called 100, 5 stink, 5 are in the pipeline. Oh, well, you're down to 90. We need 10 more, or 10 more in your pipeline. And so the management process of constantly filling that funnel, so you don't have the sales roller coaster of, hey, I closed all my pipeline, now I got to prospect and build another pipeline and close. So boy, I missed my quota. We eliminate that by building a sales opportunity management roadmap. Sequential steps of a sales call. This is a redundant, repeatable, sequential process that you burn into muscle memory so that everybody on the call knows what your roles and responsibilities are when you're on that call. One of the big areas that most salespeople forget is the feature, advantage, benefit. Why are you there? You're there to provide value. And if you don't have value, you're not closing on the next call. So I cover FABs very extensively in this particular book. What are we closing on? If you don't have a plan of what you're closing on, you're not going to be able to close. And so we would drill into 7 steps of our sales cycle in order to, burn this into muscle memory so we knew every step of the approach. Thank you very much.